The Quran explicitly lists people Allah does not love, yet Islamic theology maintains that the door to redemption is never locked. Divine distaste is directed at destructive actions rather than the core human soul. This calligraphy lists 9 recurring traits: the arrogant, the ungrateful, the oppressors. These function as spiritual toxins that rot communities from the inside out. These are often viewed as traits of ancient Dylans, but they map onto common modern behaviors that trigger a psychological chain reaction. The first domino to fall is the ungrateful. In a modern context, this is chronic dissatisfaction, the exhaustion of constantly comparing your life to what others possess. This state of lack carves out a psychological void. People often transition into the second trait, the extravagant and wasteful, by attempting to purchase wholeness through mindless consumption. This emptiness feeds directly into a looping cycle of spending. Eventually, the money or social capital dries up, creating pressure to maintain an unaffordable lifestyle. This desperation leads to betrayers of trusts and the treacherous, as people cut corners to maintain their status. The desire for more pushes an individual to sacrifice their core integrity, turning a personal flaw into a direct threat to others. The damage multiplies when deceiving others stops being a desperate measure and becomes a habit. The behavior scales into the oppressors and the corruptors, unethical leaders, and those who cause systemic societal or environmental ruin. Sustaining this level of harm requires a psychological defense mechanism to avoid crippling guilt. The ego builds a shield of arrogance to refuse truth, while the boastful use wealth and status to distract from their moral decay. The entire cycle is anchored by one final behavior. This interlocking geometric panel illustrates the 9th trait, those who persist in sin. This is the willful refusal to acknowledge wrongdoing, locking the heart into a hardened state. What began as a lack of gratitude ends in a fortress of ego, isolating the individual from divine affection. These 9 traits provide a diagnostic tool for self-correction. Islamic theology holds that the divine is most loving and oft forgiving. Perfection is not the prerequisite for his affection. Sincere repentance, or tauba, serves as an immediate eraser for these accumulated behaviors. The moment a person humbles themselves and turns away from these patterns, they exit the category of the unloved. Breaking this chain through repentance restores more than just integrity. It places a person directly into the category of those the divine loves most.